Good to go? Okay, so we're doing a photo shoot of two little girls. These are clients who did their wedding 10 years ago. Now they have girls, and they brought in this magazine ad. Can you see that? Is it focusing? How about if I zoom in? Woo! Anyways, she wants that particular theme, so it's kind of neat. I like this, and look what she brought in. She brought in some dresses. I love it when clients do that. 2 dresses, and some of these frilly things, and 2 of those dresses. And yeah, sometimes clients bring these dresses in, and I end up buying it from them. So, anyways, this is really great. It's a very thematic type shot. So here's what I'm going to do. It looks like a curtain, obviously. It's ballerinas, curtain, stage. So we're going to set up that this way. Set up another one beside it with an opening between, and the light's going to come from this side, same angle as it's in the ad. And I'm going to bounce the light through here back into the scene. This the 2 panels. Yeah, so I'm going to get to it right now. So I'll show you when we're done. I'm really embarrassing Megan here. So what we're doing now is I'm just got my setup, and I've got. That's okay, Megan. You don't have to pose anymore. We get the idea. I just did a test shot of her, and that's the kind of setup I'm going with. It looks very bright, but once the only light I'm exposing for is that light there. It's my small softbox, and it's coming through here. It's coming through the curtains, the mock curtains, and I tested it, and it looks quite dramatic. So let's just have an overview. That's all there is to it. There's 2 backdrops here. There's one here, one there, because the light was coming through and it was showing up. Small softbox. I was going to use that, but I decided against it because it scattered the light too much. This gives me more controlled soft light. So there you go. There's the peekaboo curtains. It's good. You don't have to stay back there if you don't want. You can sit here if you want. Alright. Alright, here's the image that the client had brought in from the magazine, and here's a proof that I had shown her, and this really went over very well. She was really very happy with it. So yeah, I wanted to do a really good job for her, and it wasn't really that difficult to do. One thing I did do though, when I showed her proofs of the images, was I showed her an image that I worked on, and this is one of them. I worked on this one. And this is, right now, it's a half sepia. Now I just ran the action. You can tell by my history brush, or history palette. I went to U saturation, and the color, I went to colorize, and I typed in 25, and then edit fade to 50%. Now that was already done in the action, so there's actually a little bit of color on this version. She really liked that, and that's a particularly nice effect. It's also called half sepia. It's one of the actions available for download. And I also showed her a black and white, which you can see right now. And I have all these set up in my studio as Photoshop actions, and so I can quickly do the workflow, quickly do these effects, and I save each particular image with each particular effect. I save a different version. I'll just go Control Shift S, and I'll just call it whatever I want to call it, and I'll have different variations. So in her proofing, when she is actually going to view the images for the first time, she sees different variations of it. So I'm going to show you quickly though how I workflowed that image. Here it is right off the camera. All I did was I pressed on my computer F6. Now let's look at what F6 for me is. It increases the saturation. It does the defog.
I actually do an auto contrast, and I fade the auto contrast by half, and then I sharpened it a little bit, and I added a little bit of noise. So basically, it's a quick and dirty workflow for proofing. I wouldn't do this normally in the grand scheme of things for final images. Then I would go to the burn tool and very quickly burn all around, starting with highlights at a low exposure, and just quickly burn all around. Let me see if I can size this down a bit. Oh, it's already sized down. But I want to get those highlights reduced a little bit. And then I switch it over to midtones. And I believe for this particular image here, I actually went in and I increased the skin tones by going to selective color and knocking out the cyan. And then I would add a little bit of Contrasoft, again another action. And when I run the Contrasoft, I find that a little bit too sharp, so I go into layers and I just minimize the effect on one of those layers. Then I flatten them all, and that's what I pretty much end up with. One thing I might do too is add a little bit of noise, not despeckle, sorry I didn't mean to do that. Go to filter, noise, and you can see the artistic look. You can see that. And especially if you go to a sepia tone, it gives it a whole new mood. I show all these effects to my clients when I'm proofing them. This client's a very good client. She's I photographed her wedding like I mentioned in the video, so we have an established relationship. So anyways, she was very, very happy with the results, and that's exactly what she wanted. It was a very much close duplicate of what was in the magazine ad that she cut out and showed me. And while I was at it, I did a few of these here types of poses, as well as a few other variations with some of the other outfits. Very straightforward, nice lighting, and against my castle wall with the vines. So again, she was very happy. That's the basic workflow, apart from working the images from the regular workflow, talking mostly and strictly just about workflowing the images while I'm proofing them. So that's what I want to point out right now. So anyways, it's very simple, and you know, it's bread and butter stuff that I see on a regular basis, and I hope you learned something from it. Thank you.